Good morning. My name is Pete. I'm happy to be with you at Sunday Live Dharma. Today is May 5th. Our Mexican-American friends celebrate it as Cinco de Mayo. Today also is the 4th anniversary of the death of my wife, Julie. Julie and I practiced at this temple for many years since we arrived here 13 years ago. We both received Dharma names signifying our commitment to the practice. Hers was Won Buddhist, which is translated from the Korean as joyful host of Dharma. Emphasis on joyful for Julie. Since she died, I've continued to practice here at the temple. Along the way, Julie's spirit and my memory of her have been entwined around my Buddhist practice in my daily life. For this, I'm very grateful. Today, our good temple friend, all the way from Asheville, Laura Billings, is going to share her Dharma talk, The Whole Inchworm. Now, please stand up behind your mats and let's join in Qi Gong practice, led by Kathleen.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, friends at home. We're going to start this morning. Let's take our feet and plant them shoulder width apart. Kind of wiggle your toes on the ground. Really feel the ball of your feet kind of shooting roots down. And then, like a tree, let's just rock a little bit forward, backward. Feel the shift. And now side to side. Now make a circle. Just like a trees. You all look like trees on a windy day. Other direction. Now come to your center. Feel that rootedness, different from when you were one side or the other. Let's lift up our hands, start wiggling our fingers and our wrists. Other direction. Let's get our elbows involved. Other direction. Lovely. Now, starting with our hands in front of us, we're going to start turning our arms and hands. And as we do so, let's bring them up. Like shivering leaves to the side and down. Beautiful. Come up, breathing in to the side. One more time. Lovely. Okay, let's bring our hands up and stay here. Press your hands like as if it was holding up the sky or the ceiling. And we're going to just push our hands back a little bit. So our shoulders are down. This is going to wake up our shoulders a little bit. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathing down. Let's do it 2 more times. The hands up. Pushing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. Last time. Up. Push. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down. Let's bring our arms and hands back up. Just cross our shoulders. Really plant your feet and turn to one direction. And on the direction you're looking at, turn your hand so you can see the palm of your hand. And then twist your back arm as far as it'll go. And pull and stretch. And then breathing out, we're going to turn the other direction and turn our hands in the other direction. Pull and stretch. Other direction. Pull and stretch. One last time. Pull and stretch. And breathing down. Let's rub our hands together. We're going to give some TLC to our knees. When your hands are warm, choose a knee. Give it some really nice, good massage. And also rub behind your knee. Okay. Hands rubbing. And other knee. Hello, knee. Very good. So now we're going to bring our hands up like this. And as we breathe in, we're going to turn them back and then around the front. And then back to the beginning. So turn around to the back, bring them around. This. Now let's make it flow. So breathing in, breathing out. In, out. Let's do it 3 more times. Wonderful. Now we're going to do something similar but sideways. Choose a side, step out a little farther, and point your leg and foot so it's kind of at a diagonal. But make sure this feels nice and solid. Okay, very good. As we breathe in, we're going to bring our hands forward and then back, and we're going to shift our whole weight. So breathing forward, shifting back. Beautiful. Breathing in, exhale. Lovely. Your torsos are nice and straight. It's your legs that are moving. Let's do the other side. One last time. Very good. Let's give our necks a little TLC. First, we're going to just drop our ear to our shoulder on one side. Feel the stretch. You don't want it to be uncomfortable, but you do want to feel a little stretch. Other side. One more time on each side. Come back to center. And now we're going to drop down. And then lift up as far as is comfortable. Breathing down, up. This time when you come down, pause, and then slowly turn your neck all the way around. The other side. One more time on each side. Wonderful. So now we're going to kind of move our body. So we're going to breathe in, stretch your arms out. As you breathe out, come down from the hips. Make a circle with your arms and hands like an energy ball. Slowly curve up your spine. When your hands reach heart center, turn them over. Stretch all the way up. Whew. Breathing out and down. One more time, breathing in and up. Release from your hips. Bring up the energy ball. Press up. Oh, down. One last time. Up. Pressing up and down. Now let's bring our feet together. One last breath up. Hands together and down to heart center. Now, please join us for 4 bows to Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. You're welcome to do standing bows or full bows. Please stand behind your cushion for extra cushions for your knees.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite source of marvelous existence. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guides us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles.
Meditation is an universal, beautiful practice. No matter where you practice, what tradition you are trained, we know this one thing. Meditation helps us to feel connected with our calm nature. Our minds can be extremely active and distracted, yet our minds and hearts can deeply calm and serene. So meditation is simple. We can practice. You can cultivate to connect this calm, inner calm. Make your time to find the most comfortable position. Wiggle and move to release any tension around your shoulders or in your body. Gently rock front to back or side to side until you find the point of a perfect alignment, a comfortable point of your sitting body, either sitting in your mat, in your chair, or on your mat. If you have so many wonderful fancy meditation techniques somehow in your mind or back of your toolbox, just forget them and remember the simple, very simple way. Breathe in, grab all your tension with full in-breath until you cannot breathe in anymore, and then breathe out, release your tension. Breathe in, grab all your tension, and breathe out, release all your tension. The simple breath work is amazingly effective if you keep doing it, even though it may not be entertaining, but keep doing it. Breathe in softly and deeply and grab all your tension. And breathe out, release. You feel at ease as you release them. Breathe in and gently embrace and grab all your wandering thoughts, any anxiety, any worries. Give a big hug and breathe out, release, exhale. Just do it. Don't think about doing it. Breathe in softly and deeply. And breathe out, release any mental or physical uneasiness. You can also even expand your visualization. Breathe in that robust, vibrant, growing energy of this month. And breathe out peace. Breathe out loving compassion. Breathe in the rich life Qi energy from nature and from the universe. And breathe out love. Or simply feel the rhythm of your in-breath and out-breath. If you can, try to make in-breath a little bit fuller and longer. Together, we sit, pause. When your mind is calm and concentrated, with this simple breathing technique, eventually you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. We will meditate and sit in the state that we no longer feel any distinction between self and others. We connect with all, free from the limits of time and place. In our meditation, may we smile and open the energy of calm and peaceful being in our ever calm, ever bright spirit. Chanting meditation, page 4, Yongju, prayer chant. Let us read the meaning of Yongju in English. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My
spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth.
Let us chant Yongju in English. Feel free to recite, chant, or sing as you like with each beat. The beat goes with each syllable. Yongju, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth settles in my being. My spirit penetrates all things as my mind wills. Heaven, earth, and I become one. I am one with the way of heaven and earth. Please join your palms together. May prayer. Dharmakaya Buddha Fourfold Grace. We are grateful to welcome the beautiful month of May. As we move from the cool, vibrant energy of spring to the warm, growing energy of summer, may we deepen our spiritual roots in Dharma. May we pause in the wonder of this deep, rich green and receive its robust energy. Recalling the recent celebrations of a great awakening day, let us be reminded that awakening is possible at every moment. In this month of May, we honor our mothers, the ones who gave us our physical bodies and nurtured us into adulthood. We honor as well our spiritual mothers who nurture our minds and hearts. We are grateful for plants in our gardens growing to sustain our bodies. We are healed by nature. We honor Mother Earth. The suffering and conflict in the world make our hearts ache. May we come together in prayer and hope, avoiding the pull into division. At the end of this month, we will come together on Memorial Day for a day of silent meditation to expand our hearts of peace. May our kind intentions and mindful actions promote peace here and throughout the world. This month, let us bless each other and encourage one another to live fully with love and compassion. This we pray. I wish and pray sincerely and truly, where my hands touch the world, where my feet walk on the earth, where my voice echoes through the hills, in all realms where my heart and mind reach, that we all together
share a true affinity for attaining great enlightenment and for helping all living beings.
Sutra chanting, page 11. Essential dharmas of daily practice. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions.
to learn, into willingness to learn. Well, let us turn reluctance to teach, into willingness to teach. Well, let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all. Ha Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing Prajnaparamita, realized that all five aggregates are empty, and thus became free from all suffering and distress. O Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. The same is true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. In emptiness, no form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind consciousness, no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, nor extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, no path, no wisdom, no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva relies on Prajnaparamita, therefore the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist, free from delusion. One dwells in nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on Prajnaparamita and attain supreme enlightenment. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the great mantra, is the great enlightening mantra, is the unsurpassed and unequal mantra, which is able to eliminate all suffering. This is true, not false, so proclaim the Prajnaparamita mantra, which says, gone, gone, gone beyond, far beyond, now awaken, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha.
This morning, our good temple friend, Laura Billings, is going to share her Dharma talk, The Whole Inchworm. Let's practice deep listening as we welcome Laura.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Are you all here? What I mean is, are you really all here now? I've experienced this as a process that takes some time, meaning part of me often shows up first, and then the rest of me shows up. It's almost like an inchworm. My name is Laura, and I identify as a she, and I'm a lesbian. My partner is Paula Shimjen, and we live in Asheville. And we lived in Chapel Hill for over 20 years, beginning in 1995. So I am grateful to be friends of the temple from afar now, but for many years, a friend of the temple and a fan of Reverend Won Buddhist. And I'm happy to share today some personal reflections of mine on chapter 3, Practice from the Red Book. And I'd like to begin by asking you to envision the circle, Ilwang. Maybe if you're in the temple hall, you can look up and see that beautiful circle, or in your mind's eye, the circle that helps us remember the oneness and our true nature, the whole, maybe even the whole person. In the Taoist tradition, they also use a circle, but they divide it into the two pieces. Maybe you recognize this. It's the circle with the dark part and the light part with the swirly line. And sometimes people say that the parts are the yin and the yang. Some people say it's the male and the female. So the parts to the whole is the paradox of the practice that I've been working with. And I'll tell you a little more specifically, beginning with section 31 of chapter 3 in the Red Book. It goes like this. The founding master said, while teaching many male and female students, I have observed that men, for the most part, are more generous but less practical, so that lack of steadfastness becomes a serious fault. Women are generally more scrupulous but rigid, so that lack of flexibility becomes their serious fault. In order to cultivate a perfect character, men, while remaining generous, should work on making their inner mind firm and sincere. And women, while remaining scrupulous, should work at developing an inner mind that is well-rounded and magnanimous. What do all these words mean to you? As a male, as a female, as a non-binary person? Let's look at the second part again. That to me is the real zinger. Maybe it's a never to be obtained goal, but it says, in order to cultivate a perfect character, men, while remaining generous, should work on making their inner mind firm and sincere. And women, while remaining scrupulous, should work at developing an inner mind that is well-rounded and magnanimous. When I first read this, I thought, you are wrong. And you have no understanding what it's like to be a woman. And we were separating things, meaning men and women. So it gets to be binary really fast. This is what we do with our minds. And this is the part of me that I've realized reacts first. Again, it's almost like an inchworm where my first reaction, it's sort of my head, and it's hot-headed often, But then if I wait, then my whole self slowly shows up, and that's what happened. The rest of me came on board and said, well, what is this really saying? What is this really saying about the whole? And how can my whole self be with it? So I looked at the words more closely, especially because I'm a woman. I said, scrupulous. Oh, that means to be careful with details. That made sense to me. Developing an inner mind that is well-rounded and magnanimous. Wow, okay. Magnanimous meaning compassionate and forgiving. That is what my whole self often does once it catches up. I get triggered by words. So when I read this, I started wrestling and debating with the founding master. That's kind of silly. He wrote this over 100 years ago in a land thousands of miles away. But I was digging my heels in. A well-educated 21st century American woman, blah, 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 blah. I was arguing. But again, like an inchworm, my whole self finally came around, and I realized he was inviting the whole self to be there, the inner mind. Have you had any experiences like this recently? Practicing being your whole self in your daily life, working with the inner mind. Do you ever feel like the inchworm? It seems like what matters most is what we do next. We always have this choice to slow down, to pause, to practice, as in the daily practice. Our mind is originally free from disturbances, and then something happens, and our head pokes forward, and our body might fold and eventually catch up with itself. Here's to practicing it all, being all here. Thank you. Thank you for being all here.
Thank you, Laura, for that courageous sharing on a complex passage from chapter 3. My name is Rupal. My Dharma name is Won on you, and my pronouns are she, her. I admit that the first time I read this passage, I also felt the flip-flop of resistance in my belly. It seemed as if Master Sote-san's words were meant to further indoctrinate gender norms in our society. Traditional gender norms, as Laura pointed out, view the world in a binary. They enforce ideas about how men are and should be, and how women are and should be. As an extension, there are norms around how fathers should be, how mothers should be, how daughters should be, and how sons should be. These gender norms are pervasive in our culture, in the laws that govern us, and in our own minds. Our own camera has a gender. Its name is Mr. Sony. Most of us can recall a time when we might not have lived up to those expectations about how we were supposed to look or behave. Boys get teased for having long hair or painting their nails. Girls might be silenced or locked out systematically of educational opportunities. Men are told not to cry or express their feelings. Women are expected to be nice, pretty, and not complain. There are a million ways that gender norms have created inequality and harm in our world and within each of us. Those who challenge gender norms are often met with teasing, bullying, discrimination, assault, and even death. When I consider that Master Sote-san lived in the years leading up to World War I and the beginning of World War II, as Laura explained, I must remember what a different time that was. I wonder how many women he ever saw wearing pants. I think in his passage, he was simply trying to make an observation about the characteristics of the students he was teaching. The effectiveness of discriminating between men and women in his observations, as applied to present times, is up for debate. Thankfully, we live in a time in which our understanding of gender and sexual orientation is expansive. We understand that who we are attracted to or our sexual orientation is just one part of our identity. We understand that gender is not binary, but rather it is a spectrum that exists at the intersection of the biological parts we're born with, the identity that our brains tell us who we are, and how we express ourselves in the world. The more we can embrace this rich spectrum of sexual and gender diversity, the less we allow gender norms to constrain who we are or ought to be. So whether we're gay, straight, bisexual, or beyond, whether we're cisgender, transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, or beyond, we are one and we are whole. So with this dialectical lens, I reflect on this passage again, and I think, where can I find stereotypical ideas of masculinity within me? And where do I find stereotypical ideas of femininity within me? And how can I turn the dials on each to find that balance between generous and scrupulous, between steadfast and flexible? Thank you again, Laura, for inching us closer to the truth and for bringing this important topic to light. So, friends at home, during the next few minutes, you're welcome to continue enjoying your contemplation on Laura's talk or share your takeaways in the live chat. And friends here in the Dharma Hall, please pair up in groups of 2 or 3 to share your thoughts and takeaways with each other.
Paul, for your wonderful, insightful follow-up comments that expanded even further our contemplation on this topic. It's a delightful journey that our temple practitioner and friends take a one verse or one line from practice, chapter 3, practice, and contemplate for a while and create this talk like this. And this is a wonderful opportunity to deepen our insight and hone our wisdom, and a special opportunity. And the opportunity is available for whom? For all of you. So grab a red book, Won Buddhist scripture book we call red book, aka red book. Right there available. Feel free to grab the one and then pick a verse or line and contemplate and share your thoughts, and then also practice to let go of your discomfort or sense of self or ego by putting yourself in front of others. And our practice, spiritual practice, grows so fast and powerfully when you put ourselves in a very vulnerable place. So that opportunity is also available for yes, for all of us. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad that we have several new friends here today. Let's see if I say your name correctly. Alec, say yes if you're here. Alec or Alec? Alex here. And Colin. Yes. Jaeyeon. Hi, Jaeyeon. And Jamie and Tony, and we have Ikati. How do you say? Say your name for me, please. Ikatey. Katie. Oh, that's Katie. Sorry, that's Katie. And we have a Nelly. Where is Nelly? Nelly. Well, welcome. Big applause to our friends who are here new. And big applause to everyone who joined us online and in person through the beautiful rainy day. And Nick, are there any friends who left their comments? Could you pick one or two who joined us online today?
There were a couple of comments. There we go. So there were a couple. Pat said, I find the inchworm analogy very valuable, and thank you for your talk. And Liver said, 2 talks, like bookends to a library of deep reflection. Thank you.
Thank you. Any announcement?
Why, yes. Thank you for practicing with us today. For a double dose of practice, you are invited to join us at our Raleigh Center at 4 o'clock this afternoon for more meditation and sharing. Our temple values many opportunities for young people to support the next generation to use their minds well and blossom in a happy spirit. Now is the time to sign up for our summer children's camps and teen retreats. To register, please go to our website, WonBuddhismNC.org. Our next Won Buddhism 101 class will be held on May 25th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Chapel Hill Temple. And a secret, Reverend Won Gong loves the Q&A part of that class, so bring all your burning questions to the Won Buddhism 101 class. Next Sunday, we will have a special service for Mother's Day. You are invited to join us. This is a good time to bring your whole family, and at the same time, children will be meditating on the grace of parents in the residence. If you are in our community email group, you will receive updates on all these programs. Speaking of spring moving into summer, our temple gardens are entering their major growing season and need lots of care and watering this time of year. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Please let Reverend Won Gong know if you can help. Even 30 minutes can make a big difference. We appreciate your kind donations, which make our work possible. Now let us turn to page 13 and bless each other with the morning prayer song.
Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace.
I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind. May I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with your grace. Today gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion. Today making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world.
We say thank you in Korean like this. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Let's give a big happy hand waves to our friends who join us online. Thank you for practicing together. 감사합니다. 감사합니다.